By nightfall Monday, August 3rd, 1959, Houston was expected to have its second franchise in big league sports within the span of 1 week's time. That was when 36-year-old Bud Adams, oilman and member of the Houston Sports Association, called together the press at our offices in the Adams Petroleum Center to announce Houston's entry into the proposed American Football League. Along with Bud, 26-year-old Lamar Hunt, organizer of the new league and son of multimillionaire H.L. Hunt, made it clear that the AFL would not be an outlaw league and it would not be a minor league. They noted that they would respect NFL contracts and compete against the NFL on television and would hold their own player draft. They would only compete against the NFL for the services of the drafted player. Bud announced he would serve as president of the Houston Club in the American League and that the plan was to begin play in 1960. He hoped to receive permission to play in Rice Stadium until the proposed county stadium was completed. He added that it would take about 2 months before he would be in a position to name the club's front office force, and perhaps longer before he settled on a coach, but that he had already been considering several coaches for the position. If Rice Stadium was not available, Bud said he would attempt to make arrangements to use the Jeppesen Stadium, which had a seating capacity of about 25,000. The new league was to be patterned after the NFL with 2 divisions, a minimum salary of $5,000, a player pension system, and a player draft. Only Dallas and Houston were the definite cities named so far as the announcement of the new league got pushed prematurely by NFL Commissioner Bert Bell's announcement the prior week. On August 4th, Clark Nealon wrote in his post-time column that players were the factor that would determine the fate of both the Continental League and the American League, and what concessions, if any, the major league clubs would make to the Continental League might govern the blessing that NFL Commissioner Bert Bell had already given to the American League. He added that with the cooperation of the majors of both baseball and football, at least a meeting of the minds on players for the present and the future, a whole new picture of nationwide major league could develop. With the blunt brush-off or refusal to cooperate, there could be a war that might go right down to the reserve clause, the very foundation of the professional sports structure. The reserve clause, which was sometimes called the slave clause by discontented players, was the one clause that bound a player to a club throughout his career, and even though it was approached from different angles by baseball and football, it was still the lifeblood of year-by-year competition between clubs. Any limitation or threatening of the reserve clause had been the ghost in the closet of every man with money invested in baseball down through the years.